What's up YouTube, Saf here on SuperSaf TV, and this is our initial comparison between the Google Pixel 2 and the iPhone 8. Now I have compared the larger versions, the iPhone 8 Plus versus the Pixel 2 XL in a previous video a few days ago, and in that video a lot of you guys were asking me to do this comparison between the smaller ones, and I have had some good hands-on time with both of them. So let's go ahead and look at the key differences, and hopefully that will help you decide which one to go for. Now in terms of the size difference, the Pixel 2 is larger overall, around 7.5mm taller, around 2.5mm wider, and it's also a 0.5mm thicker compared to the iPhone 8. Now that is because it has a larger screen. You've got a 5-inch display on the Pixel versus the 4.7-inch display on the iPhone 8. Now unfortunately both of these have pretty big bezels. The Pixel 2 XL has smaller bezels, as does the iPhone 10. But for these base models, both of them do have pretty big bezels. The Pixel 2 does have a slightly better screen to body ratio, however, so that is a slight advantage that it's got. And it's also got an AMOLED display versus the LCD display on the iPhone 8. This means you're going to get deeper blacks and some better colors on the Pixel, as well as the fact that it's got a better contrast ratio, 100,000 to 1, and you've got 1400 to 1 on the iPhone 8. So for the display technology, I would have to give the edge to the Pixel 2. The iPhone 8, however, does have the 3D touch display, so this is a pressure sensitive display and you're going to be able to push down harder on certain things, and it's going to give you some more options. With the Pixel 2, you do have an always on display, and that's thanks to the OLED technology, and that is going to give you your time as well as notifications and things just at a glance, and they'll always be on the display. So that's a really nice feature to have. A new feature that Google also have on the Pixels is Now Playing. This is basically going to listen to your surroundings, a little bit freaky as I've mentioned before, but it is going to pick up music and things and tell you what those are and identify those without you actually having to do anything, which is really cool. Another advantage that you have on the Pixel is the resolution. You've got full HD, so that's around 441 ppi. On the iPhone 8, you've still got the same resolution as many of the previous year devices, and that is a 750p resolution with a 326 ppi pixel density. So the Pixel is going to be sharper and more crisp in terms of the details. This is something that we really haven't seen an upgrade on the iPhone for many years. And the design is also very similar compared to last year. It's not really changed much, and it's the same as the 6, 6S as well as the 7. The big difference, however, is the build. You now have a metal frame with glass panels on the front and back. With the Pixel, you've got a metal unibody with a glass panel just at the top. This is an evolution to previous year's design, and both devices are IP67 water and dust resistant, which is nice to have. Now internally, we've got the Apple A11 Bionic chip on the iPhone 8. This is the same that's in the iPhone 10 as well as the iPhone 8 Plus. With the Pixel, you've got the Snapdragon 835, and you've got an extra gig of RAM here on the Pixel 2. Now, speed and performance are going to depend on many factors. One of those is the operating systems, and we've got iOS versus Android. Obviously, this is going to come down to your personal preference, which one you like better. Now, one great thing about both here is that you've got a stock experience of the software, so you're going to be getting updates much quicker. That's very cool. You're not going to have to wait around too long in order to get those. And there is also a heavy emphasis on augmented reality on both of these, and we've seen some samples from Apple as well as from Google, and they look very promising. And moving on to the cameras, both of them have a single camera. You've got 12 megapixels with an f1.8 aperture as well as optical image stabilization on the iPhone 8. On the Google Pixel, you've got a 12.2 megapixel camera with optical as well as electronic image stabilization, an f1.8 aperture, and then you've got laser as well as dual pixel autofocus. Now I've been testing the iPhone 8 camera over the past few weeks, and it is very good. It's definitely one of the best cameras out there right now. Now with the Pixel 2, it has been rated higher in terms of the DxO Mark rating. I know a lot of you guys don't really care about that, neither do I, but for those of you who do, that's what we have. And I will be doing a side-by-side camera comparison, SuperSaf style, between these two as soon as we have the Pixel in hand. And if you want to see that first, then make sure you have subscribed and switch on notifications. One of the things that you do get with the Pixel is a portrait mode. This is something that you're only going to get on the iPhone 8 Plus as well as the iPhone 10. It's not something that's available on the iPhone 8. And this is going to blur the background and give you a nice looking image. The Pixel manages to do this with a single camera because of machine learning as well as the dual pixel technology. This is something you're not going to be able to do on the regular iPhone 8. Now for the video, the iPhone 8 does get the advantage here because it's got higher frame rates, 4K at 60 frames a second, 1080p at 240 frames a second, With the Pixel, you've got 4K at 30 frames a second, 1080p at 120 frames a second, and at 240 you're only going to be able to get 720p. So the iPhone does get more options in terms of video recording. For the front-facing cameras, you've got 7 megapixels with an f2.2 aperture on the iPhone 8. On the Google Pixel 2, you've got an 8 megapixel front-facing camera with an f2.4 aperture. Now this once again does have a portrait mode. I had a quick play around with this and it does work really well. This is something that's not available on the iPhone 8. Now moving on to the additional features that both devices offer, you've got a fingerprint scanner on both. With the iPhone 8 it's Touch ID, it's to the front. With the Pixel 2 it's Pixel imprint and it's at the back. Now which one of these is more convenient is going to come down to your personal preference. In my experience, both have worked really well, and both devices also have stereo speakers. With the iPhone 8 you've got one on the earpiece and one bottom firing. With the Google Pixel 2 you do have both front firing speakers, which is really cool. So with the iPhone 8 there is a possibility that you're going to cover up one of the speakers when you hold it in your hand. This is not going to be a problem with the Pixel 2. And another thing that both devices have in common is no headphone jack. This is something I know a lot of you guys are disappointed about, and it's something that Google actually made fun of Apple about last year, and this year they've got rid of it too. So you are going to have to either use the Lightning port or the USB Type-C port if you want to use wired headphones. Both of the devices also come out with a converter in the box. They both also support Bluetooth 5.0, so that's going to be great for your wireless headphones. But with the Pixel 2, you don't get any headphones out of the box. With the iPhone 8, you do get Lightning earpods out of the box. Now, both devices do have AI assistants. You've got Siri versus Google Assistant. On Google Assistant, you are going to be able to launch that by squeezing the device. And with the Pixel 2, you also have Google Lens. This is a new feature that's going to be available first on the Pixel 2. And this is where you're going to be able to point your camera at signs and things like that and be able to extract more information from them. And when it comes to the batteries, the Pixel 2 has a much larger 2700 mAh battery. With the iPhone 8 you've got an 1821 mAh battery, so almost 50% larger in terms of the battery size on the Pixel. Now obviously usage is going to depend and vary on lots of different factors, and with the Pixel you are pushing out more pixels as well because it's got a higher resolution display. So we'll see how good these are. Both devices do support fast charging however, which is really cool. On the iPhone 8 unfortunately you do not get the fast charger out of the box. With the Pixel 2 you do get it out of the box, and you're gonna have to spend around about £75 here in the UK if you do want fast charging on your iPhone 8. This is in addition to the high price of the device already. The iPhone 8 does have wireless charging however, this is something that's not available on the Pixel. Now when it does come to the pricing, you are going to be paying more for the iPhone 8, about £70 more in the UK or around $50 more in the US, and that is for the same base storage version, 64GB. Although you do have a higher storage model available on the iPhone 8, 256 versus 128 on the Pixel 2. With the Pixel 2 you do get unlimited storage for your photos and videos at full resolution, and this is something that Google are offering for free. In terms of availability, the iPhone 8 is currently available. With the Pixel 2 it's going to be coming out later this month in October. So there we have it guys, the initial comparison between the iPhone 8 and the Google Pixel 2. Both offering some good features, but we do have lots of differences and advantages on either side. Which one is the one you think is better? Definitely drop me a comment below and let me know. And once we do have the retail version of the Pixel 2 in-house, we'll be doing lots of camera comparisons, speed tests and everything. But hopefully this initial comparison gave you a good idea of the key differences. If it did and it was useful, then please do hit that thumbs up button. It really does help me out. And if you want to see lots more videos like this, then make sure you have subscribed and switch on notifications. There's plenty more content coming up in here. Thanks for watching. This is Saf on SuperSaf TV, and I'll see you next time.